Picture this, a 60,000-pound Fisker Ocean SUV, a 2.5-ton monument to modern engineering, sitting completely dead in a driveway. It's not a flat battery, it's not a mechanical failure. It's because halfway across the world, a server was switched off. This isn't some dystopian future, this is happening right now.
This is Auto-Read. We decode the machines and the markets that move the world.
The marketing teams call it the software-defined vehicle, the SDV. But the engineering reality is something else entirely, a conditionally functional vehicle. The risk of it completely failing, of it bricking, isn't a bug, it's a feature of its architecture.
We need to be crystal clear about what bricking means. This is terminal. It's the point where a piece of bad code or a failed server handshake renders a complex machine completely useless. This isn't limp mode. This is digital death.
And look, this isn't some new phenomenon. It's an accelerating crisis. It goes all the way back to Better Place in 2013, straight through to Fisker in 2024. The scale of these server-dependent failures is growing, and it confirms a very clear trajectory. This is a systemic problem, not just a few isolated incidents.
Make no mistake, this didn't happen by accident. These failures are the direct, entirely predictable results of specific design choices made in both hardware and software.
For 100 years, we understood mechanical wear. It's gradual, it's predictable, you can service it. Digital wear, on the other hand, is a cliff edge. A component like flash memory works absolutely perfectly right up until the exact moment it fails, catastrophically and with zero warning. I want you to focus on this number, 3,000. That's the exact, finite number of write cycles the eMMC flash memory in early Tesla media control units was rated for. It was a built-in, predictable breaking point from the moment it left the factory.
So why did it fail? Well, technical analysis published by Hackaday confirms the cause. It was a catastrophic, yet completely basic error in embedded systems design, excessive data logging. The car's own software was literally writing its hardware to death, one cycle at a time.
And this isn't just a Tesla problem, not by a long shot. Data from the Secondhand Crisis Report documents this exact pattern across the entire industry. From flash memory wear to forced 3G network sunsets, core vehicle functions are being tied to components with an engineered finite digital lifespan.
Now, beyond simple hardware failure, there's a much more insidious dependency, the cryptographic handshake. You see, every update, every feature activation, relies on the car proving its identity to a remote server. This is the digital heartbeat of the modern vehicle, and it's also its single biggest point of failure.
And when that car's digital certificate expires, it's like its passport has been revoked. The car becomes a digital ghost, completely locked out of the very network it needs to function. It's physically there, but to the system, it simply doesn't exist anymore.
These technical flaws are then compounded by deliberate business strategies. See, automakers aren't just building cars anymore. They're building walled gardens, designed from the ground up to lock out independent repair and to monetize the entire after-sales market.
Their primary weapon is something called component protection. On the surface, it's pitched as an anti-theft measure. In practice, it digitally chains every single significant part to the manufacturer's server, making replacement impossible without their express and very often costly permission.
And don't just take my word for it. An extensive investigation by Team BHP concluded this isn't about theft protection, it's about market control. The system's primary function is to disqualify anyone and everyone who isn't part of the official dealer network.
The cost is the weapon. These figures, taken directly from the Secondhand Crisis Report, show you the price of entry just to get access to authorized diagnostics. This isn't about creating a competitive market. It's a systematic financial lockout of the entire independent repair industry.
The cumulative effect of these technical and business failures is a full-blown crisis brewing in the used car market. What should be a durable, long-term asset is quickly becoming a high-risk liability.
This table, compiled in the Second-Hand Crisis Analysis, documents a seismic shift. For a traditional car, value is all about mechanical wear. For a software-defined vehicle, value is now determined by software support, connectivity status, and its cryptographic identity, factors that are entirely outside of the owner's control.
And this leads to the central, damning paradox of the whole situation, as identified in the Closure of Electric Car Manufacturers analysis. The hardware is engineered for a 20-year lifespan, but the software controlling it is rendered obsolete or unsupported in just a fraction of that time.
This situation creates what economists call a market of lemons. Without a transparent, verifiable digital history for a car, a potential buyer has to assume the absolute worst, that the software is unsupported or that a key component is about to fail. This uncertainty completely destroys trust and collapses residual values for the entire market.
This trajectory leads to a single inevitable conclusion. The industry has engineered itself into a corner and it is now facing a market reckoning. The current model is simply unsustainable.
This forces us all to ask a fundamental question. When you buy a modern car, do you actually own it, or are you just entering a high-risk, long-term lease agreement with a software company that offers you absolutely no guarantee of its own survival? There are only 3 paths forward from here. Path 1, regulation, through robust right-to-repair laws that mandate open access. Path 2, industry-led standardization to create systems that can actually work together. Or Path 3, we continue down the current road and preside over the creation of mountains of disposable, high-tech scrap. The average vehicle has a lifespan of about 15 years, but industry projections show that meaningful software support will last for 7 years at best. This leaves us with a critical question. Who is liable for the 8 years of inevitable digital decay? The manufacturer, the owner, or maybe the landfill operator? For data-driven automotive analysis, support our work by subscribing to AutoRead. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next breakdown.